I ask you some criticism from the former National Security Advisor Henry McMaster? He spoke to Barry Weiss. He pointed the finger at you, at Trump, and said, you know, it's thanks to you guys that this happened. I'll play you the soundbite, and you can tell me what you think.
Our Secretary of State signed a surrender agreement to the Taliban.
You're talking about Mike Pompeo.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And do you know what happened next? The Taliban began to marshal weapons and fighters. They left Pakistan, began to marshal for a major offensive, timed for about this time, right? Planned well in advance. Planned, by the way, by Siraj Haqqani, who's a member of al-Qaeda and the military commander of the Taliban. Okay, tell me again how there's this bold line, between the Taliban and al-Qaeda. It's laughable, right? And then what they did is they went to Afghan commanders at various levels and said, hey, here's your alternatives. The Americans already told you they're abandoning you. So either we can come to an agreement, where we'll give you some pay, we'll give you free passage and everything, or the alternative is we're going to kill you and your families. How about that for a deal? And so that's why you saw the collapse. This collapse goes back to the capitulation agreement of 2020. I mean, the Taliban didn't defeat us; we defeated ourselves. And what's worse is we threw the Afghans under the bus on our way out. Hey, if we were just going to leave, why the hell didn't we just leave? Why did we force them to release 5,000 of some of the most heinous people on earth, who immediately went back to terrorizing the Afghan people? And before the ink was even dry, right, on this capitulation agreement, they were attacking maternity hospitals, gunning down expectant mothers and infants. They were setting bombs in girls' schools and setting secondary bombs up outside, so as they fled the initial explosion, they could kill more of them, right? This is the enemy who we surrendered to.
Some tough words there from H.R. McMaster. Your response to him?
Yes. Look, General McMaster had a view on Afghanistan. It was shared in other Republican circles as well. That was about staying in Afghanistan with 100,000 troops forever. That would have been their model. The generals are still saying they would have needed 20,000. That wasn't the reality. It wasn't what the American people wanted. It wasn't what President Trump campaigned on. I think that's why General McMaster didn't make it all the way through the administration. The document that was signed in February was no more a surrender document than Man in the Moon. General McMaster knows that. That was just good theater. He knows it wasn't a surrender document. I can tell you it wasn't a surrender document because I know how it was dealt with for what would be 11 months after the date we signed that document. We were still fully engaged in our counterterrorism mission there and fully engaged in supporting the Afghan National Security Forces as well.
How about the release of the prisoners? That's been controversial. We made them release. No, we agreed to release 5,000 of their prisoners, and some of whom have gone on to lead the battle and were directly responsible for taking over the country once we started our withdrawal.
Yeah, I'm not sure the second part of that's accurate. I'd have to see some evidence that some of those were there. I'm happy to review it. It could be the case. These were Afghan prisoners. We were working diligently to try and get to peace and reconciliation. The Afghan leadership wanted that too. Remember, they had a very contentious presidential election. The government itself was corrupt. The Afghan government itself, President Ghani, was among the most corrupt leaders I had ever encountered in my time as Secretary of State. Megyn, you know the world. That's a pretty tall order. He was stealing money from the United States of America left and right. So we were left with a very weak Afghan government.
Well, yeah.
Trying diligently to deliver a model that could ultimately get to something that looked like a Afghan government that represented all Afghans. We
but
knew
just to
this
follow
was
up on and I'm not going to defend President Ghani, but just to follow up, there was a Wall Street Journal report in August saying many of the Taliban insurgents currently aiding in the conquest of Afghanistan were once prisoners of the American-backed Afghan government, were in the 5,000. The Taliban commander overseeing an assault on the key southern city of Lashkargah is one of 5,000 former prisoners released by the Afghan government last year under pressure from the U.S. And it goes on to talk about some others who we
could be. Megyn, it could be. It could absolutely be. The Afghans help people. They released people all the time for 20 years. This went on. We were doing our best to kill bad guys and keep America safe. We didn't do a single thing.
I know, but we got these guys released. That's the criticism. That's what McMaster's saying.
No, Megyn, we were working to deliver on American security, and we did that. We did that, Megyn. There's no one can dispute that during the Trump administration we delivered on the central things that mattered to the United States of America. We were unashamed, Megyn, talking about America first. we did it. And I'll never apologize for the way that we delivered that outcome for the American people. We didn't set an arbitrary date. We didn't pull our troops out. We didn't leave equipment behind. We didn't leave Americans and Afghans who helped us behind. We delivered for our entire 4 years.
Inside the prison, there were some very bad guys. Outside the prison, there were some very bad guys. I mean, this is part of the difficulty of dealing with a country like Afghanistan and trying to negotiate an end to a very long conflict.
Hey, Megyn, one last thought. To tie the prisoner release to the debacle that the Biden administration led to is it's deeply disconnected from reality.
I mean, it's such a mess, right? Like Afghanistan is a mess.
The suggestion from Jake Sullivan and H.R. McMaster somehow that this prisoner release resulted in the collapse of the Afghan government. The prisoners were released and there was no collapse of the Afghan government, right? So this is a red herring thrown up by the Biden administration to do what presidents should never do, and that's pass the buck from the central responsibility, the deep, important responsibility you have as the president of the United States to protect America.